Good afternoon and welcome to the England Reborn podcast. We've got a whole lot going on at the moment in England and in the UK as a whole. Yesterday, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, has said that the NHS will be overwhelmed and Britain will become like Italy unless people immediately follow social distancing orders. Now, what I don't understand is this should be obvious. Now, why are you still out there in crowds? Come on, people. Sort yourselves out. This is not a joke. It's not a game. People are dying. People are going to die. And this will be people that you know. This could be your relatives. This could be your neighbours. You know, your grandmother, your mum, your dad, your sister with COPD. It could be anything. Stay indoors if you can. Now, I understand that, yes, you've got to get out to the shops to get certain things. You know, there are reasons to go out. If you're a healthcare worker or somebody on the front line, then yes, you do need to go to work. But if you don't, stay indoors. If you've got a garden, get outside. You know, today the sun's shining. Get out the back garden, get your exercise, get some fresh air. But do not mix in public. This is vitally important. If you have to go out, keep your distance. If you have to go to a shop and you're in a queue, you know, give yourself a good metre, you know, six feet even. So behind the person in front, you don't need to be close to people at the moment. Pay by card if you can, so you're not handling cash. Keep washing your hands. And so on to another subject. Today is Mothering Sunday. And I say on to another subject because I can't visit my mum as we're self-isolating here. The little one and the wife both had temperatures. So I can't visit. But what I did do, I've been going out for a bit of a walk of an evening, 10 o'clock, going round the block. You know, nobody's about. I didn't encounter anybody except for people passing in cars when I was out for around 50 minutes last night. What I did do is I went and posted a card to my mum, had a brief chat from a slight distance at the door. Now, my mum isn't that old, but she does have underlying health conditions. And this is what you need to consider. And I hope you have considered it today on Mothering Sunday, that you haven't gone round and spent time with your mum when you might be walking around with and be asymptomatic. You know, you could have caught this horrible virus. And you might not know it. And if you pass that on, I mean, I know the sort of regret that I would have if I passed it on to a relative, somebody I cared about. So I hope you've thought about that today. At the time of recording, I am going to have a chat with my mum later, probably over Skype. I think that's the best I can do today. And I will make up for this. Mum, if you're listening, I will make up for this afterwards. When all this is over, we'll go out when the pubs are open again. We'll go for a meal, you know, get a couple of drinks in and have a proper catch up. There are lots of things to consider with what's going on at the moment in England and elsewhere. Just primarily looking at the situation in England, we've got a whole lot of pubs, bars, restaurants, cinemas, cafes that are now closed. So going forward, how are they going to make money? Well, there are various measures that have been put into place by the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak. Let's hope they work out. Several pubs near to me have started a takeout service. Some are arranging home delivery. So we're talking pubs, we're talking breweries. Now that's wonderful. What I will say is support your local pubs, your local bars, your local breweries, your local cafes. If they are offering delivery, you make use of that service. These places need to survive. A lot of them have got staff they need to pay. Not all of them are part of maybe big chains. You know, there are lots of independent companies out there that really need your support at the moment. So if you can support them, please do so. Something that is maybe on a few people's minds is disruption to sports seasons, particularly football. Now, I'm a football fan, and I've got a lot of passion for the game. at the moment, football pales into insignificance a little bit. Now, yes, it is very important that we get the season finished. There are a lot of fans out there that want to know what is going on. You know, we know that Liverpool have won the Premier League. I don't think anything will change that, but there are clubs down there fighting, scrapping against relegation. They want to make sure they're not in that bottom three. It's all it's close down there. There are clubs in the Championship at the top that want to secure promotion to the Premier League. They want to secure a playoff spot. Now, of course, none of this is vital at the moment. What's vital is keeping safe, keeping people alive. But it will be nice if we can get that, get sports going again, even if it's behind closed doors. You know, if players are tested positive, I'm unsure how that will work. And as I say, it's not a massive thing, but it would give some of us football supporters who are stuck at home with not a lot to do, you know, something to talk about other than COVID-19 coronavirus. Sadly, there are a few footballers testing positive for coronavirus. The latest one, this was put on BBC Sport today, is the former Manchester United midfielder Fellaini has been tested positive for coronavirus. Now, we have to hope that young, fit, healthy footballers, hopefully without too many underlying conditions, will be fine in this respect. They'll pull through this. Obviously, football players tend to be age ranges from the upper teens until the mid-30s. You know, they should be fine. So that's good. But yeah, what the Southampton chief has said, and this is Martin Semmens. He has suggested that Premier League matches could be on television every day while people are still confined to their homes because of the coronavirus outbreak. So, as we know, the Premier League is suspended at least until the 30th of April. And he says it would be a sign that the country is coming back to normal, but it shouldn't happen before it is safe. Now, I'm sure everybody agrees with this. We want something to do, and we're having to rediscover the things that maybe people did in the past, you know, when they weren't so mobile, they weren't so active, there weren't cinemas everywhere and so on. You know, people would find other things to do. So I'm sure that we can do that, but it would help to have that football back, but only when everything is safe. As I say, at the moment we need to concentrate on maintaining that social distance between ourselves. Now, because of many players' contracts ending on 30th of June, there is a hope that the season can be done by then. 'Cause again, as Semmens has said, it may mean trying to convince players to play after their contract has ended. Now, players may be convinced by some clubs to play for free. It's likely that there'd be some sort of financial incentive or some ruling that allows a temporary extension of contracts. We don't know yet. So, on the subject of sport and keeping fit and healthy, what are you doing at the moment? Especially if you're maybe more confined to your house. Are you keeping yourself in the best physical condition that you can? Because I do believe to fight this thing off, you need to be feeling good. Now, I've been self-isolating for, getting on for 2 weeks now. And I decided yesterday, as the weather was good, to cut the lawn, do some gardening. Now, I haven't been physically active properly physically active for some time. I haven't been to the gym in a few months, and that's because of other underlying medical conditions of my own. But one thing I noticed after doing that garden, it took it out of me. I've woke up this morning, I am aching, my back's aching, my arms are aching, and that was just through some serious mowing, weeding, a bit of digging. Yeah, I know that I need to do something to improve my physical fitness. And we need to ensure that our levels of immunity are as high as they possibly can be. We need to be fighting fit at this time, which is why I'm glad to see that there are many people and businesses out there aiming to ensure that people can stay fit at home. Because if you haven't already realised, and you will if you're a gym goer, but if you haven't realised, the gyms are of course closed as well. And there are people who go to the gym every day. I'm sure you're already thinking, well, I've got to do something at home to keep fit. Yeah, I can go for a jog. I can use some of these outdoor gym equipment that's been installed in various towns and cities, but not everybody has that opportunity. And plus, again, you want to keep that distance from people, don't you? So if you are at home, what can you do? Well, there are people putting things out there. A personal friend of mine who runs Craig Hunt Coaching has put a little package together. I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to read what he's got on his website because it is brilliant, and it is aimed to help people. So he's got gym closed, not going out. Keeping yourself in good condition is important. One could argue it is a priority at the moment as a body in good condition. Getting the right amount of exercise will boost your immunity and decrease your chances of developing conditions such as heart disease. Exercise is also known to increase circulation of white blood cells, your body's antibodies, allowing them, in theory, to detect illnesses quicker than they would otherwise. Working out also slows down the release of stress hormones. Of course, you are more susceptible to illness if you are stressed. So that's pretty important in itself. Don't stress, people. With COVID-19, coronavirus, halting sports events, and with gyms temporarily closing, maintaining a healthy body and mind from the confines of your own home is increasingly important. And Craig goes on to say, I have put together an 8-week immunity-boosting health plan. This includes 8 weeks' worth of home workout plans, diet plans, that's essentially meal planning, so recipes and so on, 12 times abs and core workouts, and a review on completion. He will also be offering a coaching and support service, so you will have direct contact with him. So any questions, anything at all, you can ask. He goes on to say, and I think this is quite important at the moment, times are hard, people are losing their jobs, but it is vitally important in the face of this virus that we each do all we can to boost our immunity and stay physically strong. For this reason, I have dropped the price to £10, something much more affordable in these difficult times. Keep yourself safe and remember, wash your hands. Of course, very, very important. So these things are out there. Have a little look at that. That's craighuntcoaching.com, and I would recommend it. Absolutely brilliant. For £10, you're getting 8 weeks worth of home workout plans. So it is affordable. And there are other people doing very similar things. So please feel free to tell me if you're out there or you know of somebody out there putting a home workout plan out. I mean, I've heard of gyms doing video workouts that people can watch and follow at home. So it's quite strange. I can imagine everybody throughout England in their living rooms and gardens doing these workouts, but it is important. As well as that, there is some evidence that vitamin D will support your immune system. We know vitamin C will, but vitamin D, we don't get a massive amount of it here in England in the winter. It's cold. When the sun is out, it's not strong. We don't want to be outside too much, and we're covered up anyway. Dr. John Campbell, who's been putting out some absolutely brilliant videos, daily videos, regarding what's going on with COVID-19, has mentioned the importance of vitamin D. He takes 1 vitamin D tablet a day, and you can buy them from most shops. If you find that you're not queuing to get in and trapped in a small space with lots and lots of people, that's important. Maybe look at home delivery. Now, I know home delivery isn't wonderful at the moment either. We've tried to book ahead. I think Morrison's, their app wasn't working the other day. Ocado have pulled their app completely, as far as I know. Morrison's in our area, we were looking at booking, I think it was mid-April at last. So just have a little look out there. Asda wasn't too bad. By the way, I'm not associated with any of these shops, so just have a look what you can find. Some of the smaller shops out there may stock vitamin tablets. Holland and Barrett may do it. I think they deliver. I'll check that one. But yeah, so do what you can from home. If you have the luxury of a garden, and I know people in city centres won't, if you've got a little balcony, a terrace, get out on that. But try and get some fresh air, try and get a little bit of sunshine, exercise, eat and drink the right things, and you'll put yourself in a much, much better position. So this is the first of our England Reborn podcasts. I have a little bit more time at the moment because I am working from home, which means that travel time is out of the equation. That's great. I hope to continue doing these. Please comment. If you're on YouTube watching this, please like, please subscribe. As I get more information, I'll be putting it out there. Now, you can visit England Reborn at www.englandreborn.com, and you can find me on Twitter at England_Reborn, and of course type in England Reborn on Facebook and you'll find me there as well. I'll be putting out as much information as I can. I'll try to keep it light-hearted as much as possible, but to be honest, the only subject anybody wants to talk about anywhere at the moment, and you'll know this if you're on Twitter, is of course coronavirus, what we're doing about it, and the fact that we are practically in lockdown. Yes, we can go out, but we have to keep a distance. All the pubs are shut. So it's a difficult one. Now, this is the first of the podcasts, maybe a bit ropey, so I'll look to improve as we go on. Please subscribe, and let's do all we can to sort things out. And remember, keep washing your hands, keep socially distancing. Bye for now.